As he's got the documentary he's working on. He's thinking about the timing of when to drop that, and kind of pivot that on the launch of Pulse Chain too. He talked about. I don't know. You can't really say what's what.
That's
Guys,
exactly the way I was thinking myself. Because, what is the best excuse you can give any time for the community to be like, oh, that makes sense. There's a bug, so we got to keep fixing them. So you can use that same, not to say it's an excuse, let's just say it's the truth, but you can say that same line for the next year
Right.
because they're going to just keep finding, you're going to just keep finding bugs per se. But that's why I'm trying to, comb through the truth if we're able to. And the only way we're able to is if he signifies the specific bug that they're quote unquote needing to fix, and is that on GitHub or not? Because normally all the bugs are on GitHub, and they had a checkoff list on what's done. But just wanted to
guys,
bring that up.
if you were him and if you had the room basically to choose when to launch, when would you launch this project? Just to try to get your point of view.
I would launch it in about 3 or 4 weeks because the charts are saying that there's going to be a market flip, which will be the end of the bear market going in the bull. So there'll be no more downward pressure anymore. So he'll if I had a choice right now, if I can just press a button right now, if I was Richard Hart right now, and all my devs would be like, "Yep, we can press a button, we can go main launch, we're good." And then somebody smart was like, the charts are saying though, 3 or 4 weeks, it looks like the market flip might happen. We might actually market all the way out, and 2014, 2018, it's doing the exact same thing as 2018. And if it does exactly what 2018 dip did, that marks the market bottom. And so why wouldn't I just wait 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks to see if that actually happened? If that actually played out, that basically means I can press the button as soon as the market flips to bull market, and then it'll be 3-year bull market. Because remember on his Twitter feed, he said, aren't you guys ready for me to call the bottom? Or, because he called the top numerous times, but I feel like he's actually trying to time the bottom because of what the charts say. And he's going to say, I'm right. I told you guys so. It's great for his documentary on I've called the bottom. Now I'm going to launch a Pulse Chain because now it's the bull market. It's like right the very beginning of the bull market, because the bear, that's what I'm trying to, in a bear market, the market goes down. In a bear market, we all know that, there's only red candles with bounces in the bear market, just like Bitcoin did from 66,000, 69,000, going down to where it's at today, and what Hex did at 66 cents. It was, once he called the top, Hex was at 66 cents. Well, now that was a bull market. I mean, that was a bear market for the last year. So even Hex went down, it's, so until the market flips, it's not going to be green candles consistently with dips for the next 3 years until we get
let
that.
me let me give you
Till
my
we get that.
opinion if you don't mind. Yeah, I got your point of view. I think according to me you are halfly right, halfly wrong. Let me explain you why. Don't think that it's the best moment. First of all, for the 3-4 weeks, maybe yes, maybe not, because I think the bottom will be between 10 and 20k. So if we reach 20k, I mean, we still have room until like 15, or even to go down until 15 or even 10 $1,000. That's the first point. Second point, historically speaking, during the summer, people are on holidays, institutional are not there, not the best moment to launch any project, man. Then September, historically speaking, September is a freaking red month, man. People all come back from holidays, they have no freaking money, everything restarts, and then 1st October, then it repumps, generally speaking. On top of that, with all of that taken in consideration, two last arguments. Halving. Next halving, May 2024. So 1 year before, almost 1 year before, would be better than 1 month and few months before this next halving. And then to finish, the most important one, and this thing you didn't take it in consideration, is the bottom. When the price action finds a bottom, doesn't go up directly, especially at this phase and the economical context, the world economical context. Generally speaking, it consolidates when it finds a bottom for weeks, for months. And then at a certain moment, after consolidating, the price breaks to the upside, its range, and then we go to the moon. So if I was him, I would launch between the 1st October and 1st November 2022. And I think this is what is going to happen, according to me. But then, at the end of the day, it is just my humble opinion. Mark my words, and let's talk about it later on. And I just gave you all the arguments. And for me, it sounds totally logical.
That's the worst advice. That's the worst analysis I've ever heard on this chat in the last 1 year, and that's my contribution. That's not gonna happen.
Okay.
No need for rebuttals. Everybody's just giving their point of view and perspective. And
Say crypto safe. Basically, you want to watch sometimes with your words and what you say, because some people are going to take it and run with it. So when people come in here, you just want to be mindful of how you deliver your strategies or whatever you want to deliver.
A lot of time, because this guy is smart. I consider him smart. I think you as well. It will be beneficial for you. See what I mean? Because if it doesn't time, the launch could be problematic in the sense that you are not going to get the same X that you would have, that you could
crypto
get
safe.
at a certain moment. That was my message. See what I mean? So
Crypto,
it's, for me, it's
crypto.
something good.
Do you think he's worried about X's or security and launches flawless code? Do you think Rich is really worried about how many X's?
You think
and
he's
not the
worried about
security?
You think he's worried about short-term trading or long-term holding?
I think, of course, he's concerned about security, but on top of that, with all the efforts that he put on that, and taking also in consideration the timing, and if he sees basically a better opportunity to launch it at a certain time, and it's not so far away from where we are right now, according to me, he will definitely take advantage of that, and that's good for us. And a lot of people, I think, don't understand that. So I think on both sides, he will play on both sides.
So that would be a trader's mentality, and Richard has been preaching that he does not trade. You should not trade. So I don't. He has market calls, but he doesn't call his product, and it doesn't correlate with timing the market. So in my opinion, he is not looking at the market and saying the code is done, it has been for months. Let's just wait till my call comes up, and then I'll press the launch button. No.
Exactly my point.
But
Because the literal definition of timing the market is looking at metrics that is based on history supported by precedent, and then you act. That is timing the market, right? And that was what I was trying to allude to. That's not what he's doing, because no way he would come out and say, we're gonna do mid-May, which was beginning of May when he said 2 weeks, and now just following the project on GitHub as much as information as I can find. 38 resolutions of bugs that was called in the last 6 months, right? And then some developers are done with their part of the job and they're leaving, and now is going through audit. Security audit is two different things. When you're performing that, you're looking at code reviews, you're looking at security, you're catching things that the other programmers didn't catch. So for me, this delay, I don't even call it a delay. I just think maybe he spoke out of term in terms of, hey, he thinks this thing is gonna be out in 2 weeks, and then his top guy was like, hey, hold on, let's make sure that everything is up and running. Hex has been running for 900 days ever since launch. So the ability for the project to last longer and receive updates and more features later depends on how well it's programmed from the ground up, because you don't want to launch your network and then it crashes. That's the thing we laugh about in this community, whether we agree or not. We laugh at other projects that just crashes. Nobody laughs at Hex because it took time to do it. Depending on when Hex launched, Pulsechain is not contingent on that. It's contingent on a successful audit. It's contingent on security metrics that is put in, right? If you start tying it to the market, that is you trying to time metrics, trying to time events, which is impossible. Who would have thought, the economy in general would be where it is now? Who would have thought you would see gas for $7? Maybe people predicted it. I didn't. But things happen that you cannot have any control. And he knows that. He's a smart guy, like you said. So, like Melo suggested, I'm fine with people talking, giving their own opinion and all whatnot. But when you make very solid statements like that, it kind of throws people that just come on here newly, it throws them off, right? For me, pure speculative. I never thought Pulsechain will launch this May. If you go back to the recordings, I always say June. I'm still sticking to June. That's when I hope for it to launch. That's because of what I'm seeing on GitLab or GitHub. I don't just talk because I want to talk. I talk to help other people that may not be looking at that stuff or do not understand how software works. So
got your points, but what is good is like time will tell. Time will tell, and then we will do basically a debrief on that, and we will see who will be right and who will be wrong at that moment.
Let's consider the downsides of the two choices crypto safe. So
but
choice one, launch before the reversal.
But let me just respond, please, to Taskmaster, because there is one thing that I wanted to clarify, please. In his last slide, he said I always ask for a discount, even if I am rich, because I want to get the maximum. See what I mean? I want to get the best deal. So there is, I think, a huge difference between choosing the right date to launch a project and trying to constantly time the market. See what I mean? I think for me, in my humble opinion, it's two different things. So I think they are you guys mix up a lot of things. And yeah, and then at the end of the day, it's just my humble opinion, guys.
So, Crypto, I have a challenge for you. So, I agree with you that he'll do the best deal that's possible, but you're making an assumption about the two choices he has, which one's better or not, and I don't think we even agree on that yet. So let's look at the downsides of the two choices, because there are downsides to either, right? One is launch before the reversal, which could mean what? Like you launch during a bear market, there's not enough dry powder, maybe low hype. Is that the worst case scenario? If you're thinking of another one, and then for the other choice, wait for the reversal. The reversal maybe doesn't come. That's one of the downsides. So what does that mean? Further delays? You have to consider all the possibilities, because the reversal, nobody knows when it's coming. That's literally the definition of timing the market. You don't know that. You have some probabilities to play with, but nobody knows. So it's in my opinion, it's more risky to wait for a reversal. That is my opinion.
You can't just say, okay, yeah, Richard, I sacrificed $1,000. I've waited this long. I'm no longer interested. Return my money. You can't do that on the blockchain. It's impossible, right? So whether we like it or not, like the previous person just said, he's gonna launch it when everything is okay to launch for the sake of longevity. And I respect that. Even if this takes till September, right, that's fine. But I trust the guy to be honest to his word that the only thing delaying it is the fact that they cut bugs and it's being audited. And that's where I'm going to rest my case.